Welcome. Here is a rundown of war in Ukraine. Ukraine hopes to secure 24 fighter jets from Western allies. The Ukrainian Air Force has today asked its Western allies to consider donating 24 fighter jets to its cause in what would be the first military package of its kind. Last week, numerous nations confirmed donations of battle tanks, including the US and Germany, after several days of back and forth. Now, spokesman Yuri Ihnat has said Ukraine is aiming to secure 2 fighter squadrons of 12 combat aircraft each. Mr. Ihnat added in an interview with El País that it hopes to be given American F-16s, but are also considering French Rafale and Swedish Gripen. The US has so far refused to supply F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine, or allow their transfer by third-party countries. However, a senior defense source in the RAF told The Telegraph never say never when pressed on provisions, but insisted jets are not the priority now. Ukraine has unconditional support from the bloc, says EU chief. Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission president, has reiterated the bloc's unconditional support for Ukraine as the war with Russia rages on. Speaking ahead of an EU-Ukraine summit, Ms. von der Leyen said the country needed to prevail against Russian attacks to defend European values. "We stand by Ukraine's side without any ifs and buts," she said in Düsseldorf, Germany, on Saturday. "Ukraine is fighting for our shared values, it is fighting for the respect of international law and for the principles of democracy, and that is why Ukraine has to win this war," she said. The EU-Ukraine summit will take place on February 3rd. And Russian forces concentrated on southern front, says Ukrainian official. Moscow is concentrating its troops on the southern front of the war against Ukraine, a Ukrainian military spokeswoman said this morning. Natalia Humeniuk added that Vladimir Putin appears to be struggling to draw the reserves Russia needs to launch a significant offensive, as is widely anticipated for the spring. She said this is largely because of Ukrainian strikes on key supply routes. Her comments come as Bloomberg reported Kremlin insiders had claimed the intention was to launch a new wave of attacks by February or March. The Institute for the Study of War said Russian officials, Kremlin advisors, and other unspecified knowledgeable figures who spoke on condition of anonymity reportedly told Bloomberg that Putin seeks to conduct a new major offensive. Putin reportedly believes that Russia's tolerance to accept causalities will allow Russia to win the war in the long run despite Russian failures so far. Bloomberg added that the report is consistent with the ISW's own assessment and forecast that the Kremlin is likely preparing to conduct a decisive strategic action, most likely in Luhansk Oblast, in the next 6 months.